Entrepreneurs, get ready. Turn this up. Welcome to the Impact Over Everything podcast with Beez and Van. Let's get to it.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We here again, man. Welcome to the Impact Over Everything podcast, where we challenge everything.
And we stand for something so we don't fall for anything. My man, bro, it feel like I ain't seen you in a minute. I ain't seen you in a minute, bro.
I mean, we still get together to do, charity and philanthropy, of course. But business has been busy on both ends, man. We've been grinding, and that's the life of the entrepreneur, you know?
Yes, sir. Somebody hit you up, I think, from your round table, bro, and asked you something that was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, bro. You know, that's a perfect thing for what we could talk about tonight, actually, right? Because, we go off the cuff with these things and we talk about what's in the moment. And it wasn't even from my round table. It was actually one of my employees, right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, man. And they were telling me how much they love listening to the podcast. So I was like, yo, I appreciate that. And they said it was inspiring them and everything. And then they said, what would we say are the temptations of the entrepreneur? More so meaning like the typical mistakes that entrepreneurs make on their journey into this world, this environment. And that's interesting. That's an interesting question. Like, I didn't have an answer immediately off the top of my head. So I think this is a perfect place for us to talk about this, right? And I'm going to start it by saying one of the things that I see that a mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make is that as soon as they start getting money, revenue in their business, they're figuring out how to take some out of it. You know what I'm saying? So the money, the business starts making money, then they're like, okay, how much am I gonna get paid? Right? They're trying to pull money from it. And the reason why that's a mistake is because you want your business to grow, right? So if you want your business to grow, you can't be worried about taking the money out of it just yet. You got to reinvest. You got to keep it going into the business. The business is a living entity, right? So if you don't continue to feed and nurture that entity, it's going to die. And I feel like that's one of the first mistakes that almost all entrepreneurs make. You know what I'm saying? What you think?
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake that I made when I first started getting some money in entrepreneurship is I went to go get the uniform. I'm just speaking from my experience and what I see. I went to go get the entrepreneurship uniform. I went to go get the nice car. I went and upgraded my crib. I went and upgraded my wife's purse selection. You know what I'm saying? So when I pulled up, people knew, okay, he's getting some money. He's making it happen. And bro, I promise you that probably set my business back 6 months. When I did that mistake, at least 6 months, probably more than that, because I spent all that money. And at the time I wasn't leveraging the vehicles at all. So it was definitely a liability for sure. Because I was definitely not leveraging it at all.
Ain't that crazy how things come full circle? Because, in the beginning it's like, damn, I went and get these cars, man. That was terrible. That was a mistake. Now it's like, yo, let's get these cars, man, because we're going to make money off it.
Yeah, we're going to make money, yeah.
That's how we do it. Man. We learn, right? We don't take, we take L's, but they're lessons.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not losses. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that L. We either win or we're going to learn. And that's what we're doing. And then we keep iterating and keep growing. Now, actually, I think I made a mistake. I probably should say the first mistake before even taking money out of your business is giving up. How often so many people that I know that have come in. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm not perfect, but I was not subject to this mistake because I was not giving up. I was like, yo, this is going to happen or it's going to happen. And that's it, Yeah. But I know a lot of people who was like, yo, 3 months in, oh man, he ain't making money, he ain't working. And we just go back and focus on my 9 to 5. Like, what? 3 months in? I mean, how much things in life? What is it? They say that it takes 60 days to create a habit. Is it something like that?
120 days.
120 days to create a habit, right? Now, think about this.
Sorry. It's 21 days to create a habit, 90 days to create a lifestyle.
There we go. Where you get 120 from, bro?
Yeah.
Man creating that permanent habit, 120 days, bro. It's ingrained. But you know what it is? It's like, you when it comes to like even the gym, working out, you go in for them first few weeks, it's like, oh man, this is hard, this is tiring, blah, blah. But after a few months, you almost can't live without going in the gym. It's like you wake up like, yo, man, I can't believe I missed the gym today. Like you're pissed at yourself for missing the gym. In the beginning, you're coming up with every excuse possible to miss the gym. So why don't we give ourselves time in our business to succeed? Things don't happen overnight. We're willing to go to school, to college, and spend 4, 5, 6 plus years, depending on what you're getting, and for a possibility of making, $40, $50, $60,000 a year. It ain't no guarantee either. It's still a possibility. You still got to come out and struggle and build up and everything. But yet 3 months in our business, we're like ready to give up. And when we're in college, we're willing to be broke. We are broke as a joke during that time. I was making ramen noodle sandwiches and stuff for years. I was a master chef at ramen noodles, bro. I used to mix it with some cheese and all type of random shit, But, oh, damn, I just cursed on was this my first time cussing on there? I don't even know.
Yeah. You've been hanging out with the wrong crowd, man. Where you been at, man? Where you been at? Nah. So hey, I used to put top ramen, right? The chili top ramen with chili, with a can of chili, right? You mix that together, and then you put the Fritos, the chili cheese Fritos, crunched up on top of that joint, bro. Bro, that you could literally go. I used to be able to basically live off like $20 for the whole week. Those exact ones right there, bro.
I could make it. Yeah. It's right I could make it for $20, bro, for the whole week on that right there. That's funny, man. That's funny. But yeah, listen, that's what we did, bro. And we was willing to do that. And people are not willing to stick it through their business. I ain't gonna lie. When I started as a full-time entrepreneur, I wasn't thinking of like where I'm at right now. I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking that, I just want to be able to have freedom. I just want to be able to chill, work on my own terms and that type of stuff. And, for the first year or so, I was like, okay, this is cool. Mind you, I was grinding to achieve more, but it wasn't about the money for me at the time. It was just like, I'm just grinding because I know I need to grind. Oh, here's another opportunity. Let me seize it. That was just, the route that I was going. But wow, sticking through it, I would have never imagined like it would get to, where it got to now. You know what I'm saying? And that's just 5-6 years, bro. That's quick. That's not nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. And if you just stick through, man, it's amazing where you will be in 1 year's time, much less 5 years. So that's a critical thing that, I think is a mistake that many entrepreneurs, make in the beginning.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit the desire point. Desire is a big thing, bro. Desire is a drug, right? That's something that we all got to deal with. It's never gonna leave you no matter what you're in, especially entrepreneurship. So the desire is something that leads to massive mistakes because typically for men, right? Or just people in general, I'm not gonna categorize it to men, but we all have the two biggest desires of life are food and sex. So those are the two biggest desires. We can argue this all day. Somebody can challenge me on this, but every two things lead from your stomach and sex. Those are the two biggest desires. To feed your stomach, guess what you need? You need more money. To get more sex, guess what you need? You need more money. So it all stems from money, right? So the desire of entrepreneurship is what? You want to make money, right? To feed what? Your stomach. To feed what? Your sex drive, right? Your sex appeal, right? People ain't hopping in Lambos and McLarens and all of that because they just want to ride in that stuff. It feeds the ego. It feeds the drive of, hey, I'm the guy or I'm the girl or I made it and things of those natures, right? Now, we use some of those things now for, again, we make money off those things, but the average person that's getting those things is to feed the desire. So for entrepreneurship, for me, the biggest desire is trying to lessen the desire for your stomach and not making decisions based off of the sex drive, right? Thinking with the wrong head or thinking with the wrong brain, right? And I think the biggest downfall is when we make decisions based off of those two desires. So I'm married. I've been married 10 plus years. This is my second marriage, but I would say for entrepreneurs, I'll go from a man perspective. When you're in entrepreneurship, the temptation of the opposite sex, the temptation of when you have success of people pulling at you and wanting you to do this and wanting you to do that. I think that's that's taken down so many people of giving into those desires and possibly, stepping out of your marriage or you're in a relationship and things of those natures, because everybody, especially when you're successful in entrepreneurship, everybody wants your time. Everybody wants a piece of you, and even men, want other men's time, the desire for, just think of how you've seen people act when other men get around other millionaires or other people that are successful, how they start doing weird stuff. And it's the desire to want to be around that success. And people start, honestly, their moral compass starts to change and shift a little bit when you feel like you got a power move on someone, or you can get that next level up, or, you can be in this relationship, in this group. And we've seen that, honestly, going on in the circles around the entrepreneurship field. We've seen that going on today. And we've seen that in the past of people that, the desire of success, the desire of clout, the desire of I'm that dude or I'm that girl. And it leads to people not acting with integrity. I think that's that. And it all leads from pride, greed, the love of rank, the love of I'm that guy, I'm that girl. And that's the desire. That's the downfall of successful entrepreneurs or people that are on the rise, is giving into those desires and those, I'll call them diseases of the heart. So if we want to get deep, let's get deep tonight. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. No, that's fact, man. And that's not just like you mentioned, stepping out on your relationship, blah, blah, blah. It ain't even just that. You could be single and then you get that fame, you get that glory, and then, you get a couple of groupies or whatever, and they trying to get at you. And then you just mess with the wrong one. Or you just focus too much on multiple of them, and then bam, you're distracted from your ultimate goal, distracted from the progress you was making, and your business suffers because of it, man. And if you get you let the wrong person in too much on your business, and then something goes sour, and then they pull the plug on certain things or whatever. There's so many things that can happen based on desire, like you said, bro. And yeah, man, that's definitely powerful. That's a big temptation of the entrepreneur. You know what I mean? So before we continue, I want to start early today with one of our segments, because I miss it, and we didn't do it last week, you know what I'm saying? And it's important to be able to continue to spotlight other entrepreneurs, right? And we hope that these entrepreneurs that we're spotlighting, they learn a couple of these lessons that we're talking about, so they don't make some of these temptations of the entrepreneur, right? And make sure that they're able to circumvent it, go around it, and continue to grow and succeed. So today, I want us to spotlight a young lady, Sonya, from Petite Designs. All right, so let's listen to what she has to say. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Sonya, the owner of Petite Designs, where we make and offer custom items such as t-shirts and apparel. We also offer promotional products where you can add your logo or image to an item, such as license plates, drinkware, custom socks, and much, much more. If you want to get more information, feel free to like and follow me on Instagram at Petite, P-E-T-I-T .designs, D-E-S-I-G-N-Z. Again, that is petite.designs on Instagram. I just want to take a moment to thank Beez for featuring me on his amazing podcast, Impact Over Everything. That title in itself is major. One of the best podcasts out there. If you're not listening, you're missing out on major information as well as knowledge. Again, thank you so much, Beez, for having me. You guys have an amazing day.
Man, bro, these entrepreneurs are killing it, man. These people are submitting. We got so many people submitting their highlight, man. Sonya's killing the game. Y'all tap in with Sonya on her Instagram is at petite.designs with a Z, petite.designs. Tap in with her. She's doing some amazing things. And for all the entrepreneurs out there that are making noise, are getting their impact in their own way, definitely tap in with us. Shoot us a DM at Impact Over Everything Podcast on Instagram. And we highlight a new entrepreneur every week, giving you guys your flowers and making sure people understand who you guys are so you guys can get that recognition. One of the things I wanted to transition into about the mistakes of entrepreneurship, and I always like to bring it back to personal stories and be vulnerable. I did a post on this recently about chasing the lifestyle. So one of the things that one of my mentors really hit home to me is that people want to get in entrepreneurship for the lifestyle, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to put the hard work in, the late nights, the early mornings, the things that it takes to actually get success in entrepreneurship. They're just chasing the lifestyle, the glit, the glam, the travel, when you make it to a certain level, the jets, the nice cars, the things, the vacations, all the things that people see like when you're a successful entrepreneur. But it takes a lot of hard work to get to those things, and it takes a lot of smart decisions and sacrifices. So like what you were saying, when you're making money early on in entrepreneurship, putting the money back into the business is very key and very crucial. And like I spoke earlier, it was times where I was making money and then I was pulling it out, spending it on stupid things. But what I realized was, similar to what you just spoke about, it's all money in. You have to tell yourself, listen, I'm not going to take a salary. I'm not going to take pay. I'm going to pay my employees. I'm going to pay everyone else for a year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm going to make sure my business gets to a point to where it's on autopilot when it's bringing in revenue, to a point to where maybe I can start taking a salary. Maybe I can start putting money away to different things and different natures. But also too, we got to do it in a smart way to where, and I don't know if we want to go too deep into this tonight, to where you control everything, but you don't own anything.
We gonna
a lot of times.
We're gonna save that, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna save that. All right, cool.
So we're gonna save that.
So yeah, that's a lot to talk about on that one. But putting the money back in the business, I think, is key for all the entrepreneurs out there right now that are killing the game or just getting started. You got to give yourself a sacrifice. There has to be a level of sacrifice in the beginning, and if you try to avoid that sacrifice, it's gonna hold your business back. I don't care what you're making. If you're making 10K a month, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100K, whatever it is. If you start pulling that money too early, it's going to kill your momentum, because to scale, you got to put money back in. And I was talking about this a few weeks ago at one of our good friends' mentorship live events of scaling is sacrifice. Because to scale, that means you got to hire more people, which means what? More revenue has to go to these employees. To scale means maybe you possibly got to spend money on Facebook ads. To scale means maybe you got to order more products. So scaling has nothing to do with putting money in your pocket. That don't even like, scaling has nothing to do with paying yourself more. It's impossible to scale if you're paying yourself more or you're taking money home. So putting the money back in is key, bro. And I know you've built multiple businesses to high levels of success. I want you to touch on that and just the importance of all money in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's funny because I just had another conversation on the round table tonight. Man, the guest that we've been bringing on has been insane. And today we was talking about grants, and we was talking about nonprofits, and we was talking about how to structure your business properly. And my guest, she had told me some time ago, she learned how I have my businesses structured, how I have a parent company and then, you know, multiple subsidiaries. And I told her how I only pay myself from one of those companies. Each of them, you know, is making money on its own and is self-sufficient, but I only pay myself from one. And she was like, oh, okay, so you're not taking any money out of the other businesses? I was like, no, I don't need to. You know, one's enough for me to take money out for little things that I need. So she's like, well, why don't, you know, you could set them up as nonprofits. I was like, no, they are for-profit companies. She's like, yeah, but you're not taking any profits out. And I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't even think about that. She was like, you could set it up as a nonprofit and then get better tax advantages from it. I was like, wait, what? I didn't even think about that because that's the extent of which I'm not taking money out, right? I don't need it. And you know, it's also part of why I preach and promote or advocate for having multiple businesses, because if I got one that could pay me enough to get by and to live and do what I want, the rest, I'm just using it to just continue growing each other. You know what I'm saying? To continue growing themselves. So that's actually a little nugget there for y'all real quick, since, you know, we got to drop at least one business related nugget each show. But if you do got multiple businesses, consider that. Now, there's benefits and there's pros and cons to each situation, right? And it's going to depend on what you really want to do with that business. Because, for example, let's say you were doing some government contracting and whatnot, the type of money that you would get if you are a nonprofit may not be good enough for what you could get as a for-profit, right? So it really just depends on what you're going to do. But just think about that. If you got multiple businesses and one of them is all you're taking money from and the others are just, you know, continuing to grow, you could pivot, make it a nonprofit, get some tax advantages from that. And when it does come to the point that you do take money from it, you could always switch back. You know what I'm saying? And paying your salary, if you make just enough in a business to only pay your salary, like your business hasn't grown enough yet and you can only pay yourself a salary and that's it, that's another thing that could be treated as a nonprofit, because a salary is part of a nonprofit. That's okay. It's when you start taking out profits, not just the salary, but taking, you know, disbursements or distributions from the profit and then using it for other investments and whatever, that's when you become a for-profit. So there's some key, distinctions there, but it's definitely something to take a look at.
Absolutely. What would you say? Because when you look at desires, bro, you've been in entrepreneurship a minute. What would you say is one desire that you've been able to overcome? Like one that it was there and it was like it could hinder you, but then you were able to kind of overcome it based off of the goals that you have for your business and just the lifestyle that you wanted to live.
So I don't know if this was a desire, but it's definitely something like a common mistake, again, that entrepreneurs make. And if this doesn't answer your question specifically, let me know at the end, but I'm gonna run through this one and, you know, you see what you think too. A mistake that many of us make, and including myself, and I'm still fixing that mistake to some degree right now, is not treating your business like a business. Right? When I say that, not treating your business like a real business, what I'm saying is that, for example, we start a business, quote unquote, and it's just us working in it. That's not a business, first and foremost. That's self-employed, right? A business is when you actually hire people. A business is when you have processes in place, systems in place. The business is growing. You are filing taxes. You are, doing the things that a business should do. You have an attorney that you consult with. You're creating contracts and legal material. You're not just pulling some templates offline. I understand in the beginning you may do it that way, but you have to have a plan to grow your business properly. and treat your business like an actual business. You need a CPA, some sort of financial executive within your business, apart from your CPA that's helping you to do the filing out, once a year or once a quarter, right? You need to have an exit plan. Are you gonna? What do you plan on doing with the business? You just gonna keep it in the family forever? You want to try to get to IPO? You want to try to sell it? Well, each one of those exit strategies require different actions. So if you don't prepare your business properly, then where are you really going? It's like if you get in a boat and start sailing, but you don't have a destination, where the hell are you going to end up? You don't know. But if you know you want to go north, you're going to find a way to go north. Well, there's North Star and I can do this and blah, blah, blah. And you're going to make certain decisions in order to get to the destination that you have in mind. Even if it takes long or whatever, you're still going to be going towards it and course correcting regularly. But when we don't set up our business properly and treat it like a true business, we end up just, swaying in the water. So that's another thing for me that was, and like I said, I'm still correcting some of that because I had some business in the beginning that, I wasn't keeping the books as good as I should have. You know what I'm saying? I had to go back. I set up my accounting team, my bookkeeping team, and we had to go back and be like, oh, wait, damn, he was doing this. At one point, before I learned about piercing the corporate veil, I was commingling funds, which would have been terrible at that time, but I didn't know. Fortunately, it wasn't nothing intentional. It wasn't anything malicious. I wasn't trying to scam nothing. I was just like, oh, okay, I made this. I could pull that and just use that. I could use my corporate bank account to pay for my rent or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like you got to be intentional and create the business as an actual business. So that's the area that I would mention.
All right. So I don't want to turn this into me interviewing you, but you giving some game right now. For the people right now that are into the rental car game. So I'm, as you know, just started a, luxury exotic rental car company. And I'm going the route, it's just like you said, of a real business. So a lot of people hustling on Turo, doing the Turo thing, which is cool. What would you say to the people out there that's like getting into the rental game, that's doing the Turo play, right? Because for me, I think that's a hustle. I don't think most people set it up as a real business, but you've been able to set up a real company, and I'm duplicating those efforts in Vegas. What would you say to the people that are just doing the rental game? How would they structure that into like a real business?
That's a great question, bro, because you're right. The Turo thing is a hustle, but what I've done, what you're doing, it's definitely making that shift because one, you first and foremost, you're hiring employees. You ain't the one. I mean, you're gonna grind in the beginning, of course, but you ain't the one that's gonna be forever delivering cars and all of this stuff, and you ain't gonna be the one washing them and doing the maintenance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you have to do it in the very beginning, you ain't gonna be the one always doing that. So that's the first thing. You're looking at what's the process? What are the steps that I need to take in order to make this operation run smoothly? And then you're putting people in place for it, right? The next thing that I would say is that's a stopgap when someone thinks, okay, I'm gonna get some cars and rent them out. That's like, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else? So I started looking at things like, all right, I got the cars, I'm renting them out. What else can I do? Oh, you know what? An ancillary service or something could be car wrapping. Well, I'm wrapping so many cars, I might as well hire the person that has been wrapping them to be part of my team, or get someone else that will be part of my team and bring that in-house, right? Because now I'm going to start creating a business that can be more than just one. How's the best way to say this? In tech, a lot of times when a new tech company comes out, one of the things that people like Shark Tank people evaluate is that really a business, or is that just a feature? Meaning you creating a business based off of a feature that could be easily replicated in a real business who has the full set of services, apart from the one little feature that you created. right? So it's the same thing, even in like the car rental business. Yeah, okay, you're renting cars, but now you want to be a complete business. You want to be your car rental shop, which means you need to be able to wash your cars. When you go rent something from Enterprise and they're like, oh, they're washing the cars downstairs. They're not saying, oh, hold on, I have to take it to the car wash. You know what I'm saying? No, they are washing them themselves. They got staff to do it. So that's the next phase in this business is, you know, starting to get the other ancillary components related to the business. And then that's how you really make the business grow. And, you know, employees is the first step to the process of the employees for sure.
Yeah, so many people told me not to get a warehouse, not to get a facility. Why are you doing that? Why are you getting that expense? Why are you could just rent the cars out from your house, or you could just get a lot. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. All right, so you want me to get all these cars out my driveway? My neighbor's looking at me crazy. Like, you got 15 cars in your driveway, having to depend on other people to park my cars at their stuff, paying to get car washes, paying to people to travel to the cars to deliver the cars. So now you got to pay extra to get them to actually transport the cars. And then what? Like you said, then what? Okay, cool. We making 10K, 15K a month. Okay, cool. But now you've created a self-employment, because now I got to do all of that stuff myself, right? Versus you get a facility. Now you have collateral. You have something tangible. You have an address. You have a entity, right? Now that you can house these cars. Now you have a detail place for other people to bring their cars to get detailed. Now you have a housing center for other people that want to rent their cars out that don't have nowhere to send them because they hustling on Turo. Now you could charge them to house their cars at your spot, right? Now, like you said, you can do the wraps in-house, because you know we're paying $2,000-$3,000 depending on what the vehicle is for a wrap, which probably costs $500. That costs with labor in the joint. So now you took that in-house, and now guess what? You could charge other people to wrap their cars, right?
There you go.
Now, guess what? People need content. Okay, so guess what? I got a facility that you can come do content at, that you can come do. Oh, you want to do an event. You want to have a car show. Okay, I got you. You see what I'm saying? So now we've turned this one entity of, hey, yeah, we're going to rent cars, but now you have a facility and all of these different now business models and different things that's already integrated within the rental game that you can make money off of. Now you have a legitimate business. And now you got the funding plays. Okay, I got a business now. I got a location that's bringing in X amount of dollars every month from all these different things. Now you can go to the bank and you can leverage that. But if I just hustled on Turo with these cars in my driveway, I don't have the overhead, but now I don't have all of these other things that I can be able to do. And that's the mindset that people need to understand when they're going into things like this. Are we hustling, right? That's why I call my brand Hustler to Entrepreneur. Are we hustling for today, or for this month, or for this year, or are we actually getting ourselves in position to win long term? And that's what I think is the desire factor of hustling. You just want money today. You just want to get money in your pocket today, that we all have to get over. Like you said, you still working through and I'm working through as well. Or do we want to put systems in place and sacrifice? I told myself I ain't bringing no money home for a year off of this rental thing. I don't care how many cars you see me with. I don't care what you see. I'm not touching no money for at least a year, because I'm putting all money back in. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't always have that mentality. And I know a lot of people that's starting out don't have that mentality, but that's the mentality you need to win.
Listen, that's discipline right there. It's a blessing to break even. You know what I'm saying? People are more concerned it's a blessing to make that profit. No, it's a blessing to break even. Because if I break even and, then I'm only focused on that profit, is going right back into the business to grow the business. And if I continue to do that, like you said, for a year, man, then all of those other revenue streams within the business, where you grow from just being a feature to being a full, system, a full business, those other revenue streams are gonna, skyrocket. And like I mentioned, when I said, treat your business like a real business, this is the key thing there. People are afraid to spend money in their business. You said that, you was like, shit, I could just do it from my driveway, or I go get this warehouse. Damn, I gotta pay $10,000, $12,000 a month for this warehouse now. But yes, that investment is going to help you to grow and take you to that next level. All of those things that you mentioned, right? It's the same thing when it comes to like, I mean, there's so many other parts, so many other areas that people are afraid to spend money in their business. One thing, for example, a lot of us always talk about, hey, I can write this off. I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna write it off, right? Yeah, you can write off everything. You know what? This is another mistake I made in the beginning. I used to write off so much that I wrote off all my profit, right? And I was thinking to myself, oh, good, I don't owe that much in taxes. I'm okay. Then if I go and try to purchase an asset, it's like, oh, well, your business didn't make any money. No, it did make money. Look, I made almost $1 million in that first year, whatever. And they were like, no, but you wrote it all off. So you didn't pay no taxes for that. There again, I didn't treat my business like a real business. I was just trying to hustle, trying to scam it a little bit to get as many write-offs as possible. Pay some taxes. That's going to help you to get to that next level again. You know what I mean? So,
I want to transition so much into this new sauce that I got for, I know for these trusts, bro. Next, we're gonna give them the trust play. We got to give them in the next episode or so, because that's a whole different ball game. And bro, I'm telling you, that game right there, that trust game, and bro, I'm not upset, but I'm just so appalled that I didn't get this information before and that I wasn't operating in this way before, because it's just, I ain't gonna get into it because I want to get into it so bad. So I'm gonna say it. Did you do both?
Did you do both, the business and the family?
Yeah.
There you go. Powerful, bro. But yeah, let's get into this new segment, man. We got another segment.
All right. Yeah. Let's get into this new segment. So this is the funniest thing. I'm just laughing thinking about this. The funniest thing we've seen this week. So I'm gonna start it off. This is a segment we're gonna be bringing to you guys, kind of like some, humor. I don't know whoever watched ESPN, but I think what's the dude's name? Not Stuart Scott, but what's the dude's name? The white dude with the bald head.
Yeah.
Scott Van Pelt. He does a thing. Yeah. The most interesting thing he's seen all week, right? So we're gonna shift and say the funniest thing we've seen all week. So today happened to be one of the funniest things I've seen all week. So I'm actually not even home. I'm driving, I'm doing something, handling some errands, and my wife calls me, and my kid is just yelling in the background. He's just screaming, yelling. I'm like, man, what is going on? I'm thinking like, man. So we got him a drone for his birthday. My son just turned 9, and we got him a drone for his birthday. So he been flying the drone in the house, practicing and doing his thing, right? And actually, it's funny is I crashed the drone into the wall, like when he first broke it open, crashed the joint into the wall. But he's practicing, right? So today he goes outside, and this dude flies the drone away, and the drone is gone. It just, bro, he flies the drone, and the drone just disappears and don't come back. I'm like, man, this is crazy. He went from practicing in the house to me crashing the joint into the wall, from me leaving literally. And I get a call from my wife. It sounded like somebody dying, and he crying because he didn't flew his drone away, and the drone just lost into the sky.
Yo, bro, you know what that makes? What makes that even more fun to me is the exact same thing happened to me and my son, bro. But this was about a year, maybe a year and a half ago. Not last Christmas, but the Christmas before. And he got the drone. It was small to medium size. So he was flying it. And actually, you know what it was? It was one of the Star Wars drones. So it was like one of the Star Wars vehicles and stuff. So he's flying it inside, flew it inside for about an hour practicing. He's like, okay, I got the hang of it. Good to go, ready to go. Then we go outside. I left him outside for 5 minutes, bro. Like I turned around and went in and get water. Came back out. My oldest son was like, Dad, Dominic lost the drone. I was like, what do you mean lost the drone? He had it perfectly right in front of him. I got a big backyard. How could you possibly lose the drone? You don't know where it went? He's like, no, he know where it went. It's at the top of the tree, all the way like across the street. And this is one of them trees that, in Jamaica, I climbed trees here and there when I was young, but this ain't one that I'm gonna be able to climb, bro. And there's no ladder gonna reach up there or nothing. So it was just stuck there for who knows how long. I mean, every day we'd be looking to see if it ever fell down. But, well, who knows what happened, bro? But hey, that's kids for you.
So it was funny. The reason why it was so funny, because when she called me, I'm like, what is going on in the background? It sounded like somebody fell or something like that. And she like, nah, he flew his drone. He done lost his drone, man. He done went outside. I'm like, for one, why'd you even let him go outside with the drone by itself, for one? Like, I'm blaming her now. I'm blaming my wife. Like, why you even let him go outside by himself to even fly the drone without me being there? I said I'm coming right back. So that's the first thing. And second thing, how the hell did he fly the drone away and it didn't come back? That's what I don't understand. Like, where'd it go?
Don't be surprised if you find it one day, though. Like somebody find it or something. I don't know.
Bro, I'm like, man. So, you already know what that's going to be. Now I got booked for another drone, so I got to buy another drone. So, so that's all good. But yeah, guys, we're going to be bringing you guys the business sauce, the life sauce. Like we ain't got no agenda. I know we listed under business podcast, but we hitting you with life stuff. We hitting you with the family. We hitting you with mindset. We flown, but trust thing is coming, man. Cause I think everybody needs to know, especially the people that's rocking with us and tuning in. They got to understand the trust, bro. It's powerful.
And the reason why we talk about all these things is because, it may sound like we just going all over the place when we're supposed to be talking about business, but all of this is related to business. Like people feel like, oh no, all I want to hear is business plays. That's a business podcast. Nah, as an entrepreneur, you got to worry about work-life balance, right? That's a concept from work, but there's something else like that, even to a higher degree. You got to worry about your wellness, your health and wellness. You got to worry about your of course the business strategies too, but you also got, this is like everything. You got to worry about everything. You got to take in, and not even worry, but you got to take into consideration everything. All right, so that's how you become a well-rounded entrepreneur, and that's why we here to talk about everything related to entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur, and everything related to having impact over everything all day.
All day, man. Let's do it. We're gonna see y'all on the next one.
Let's go.